Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
I'd like to start you by congratulating you on this auspicious occasion. Mubarak to you all.
Same to you.
Eid-e-Shuja. Like my young brother Ahmed's little son told us earlier, the meaning of Eid is festivity. Festivity is a happy occasion. And Shuja, in Arabic, correct me if I'm wrong, it means the brave, the courageous. So it's targeted towards the companions who fought along the Imam in Karbala. And you know, over the course of 2-3 years attending majlises, attending jashads, I will have to admit that we somehow seem to forget about the companions. We sometimes seem to forget the sacrifices they made and the day-to-day life which they could have lived, they gave up. Not that they never had anything to return back to. A lot of them were learned, a lot of them were wealthy, they had families, they had children. And we are living in a time now where the greatest wealth anybody can acquire is your children, is a lot. So when you look towards the companions, you're astounded at the sacrifices they made. And when you make comparisons to other companions who fought in wars, which they knew that the war was going to be won, but they still decided to flee. So when you look in comparisons at the companions of Hazrat Imam Hussain alayhi salam, they were given the choice to leave, but they did not leave. They were given the choice. Not just given the choice, but they were also told that you will be forgiven if you decide to leave. But yet they still stayed. Eid-e-Zahra, that is another name which this auspicious occasion is related to. And the reason we say Eid-e-Zahra, because today is the day that they were happy. They were happy. Why? Because the corrupt killers, the main culprits, their heads were brought to our fourth Imam.
उमर इब्न ज़ियाद पे लानत, यजीद पे लानत, हिंदा पे लानत, यजीद की पूरी टीम पे लानत, नारा अली।
When these heads were brought, it is narrated that our Imam smiled. Now, when somebody smiles, you say it's just a natural act. But our Imam smiled after so many years. This is one thing you have to remember, that the Imams very rarely had the occasion to smile. They smiled in prayer when they made the connection with the Lord. But in day-to-day affairs, they never had any real reason to smile, because they were constantly persecuted. So to see our Imam smile on this day, why should we not celebrate? Definitely. Our Imam also ordered the women of the household to celebrate, to dress up.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
And another important point that today holds, today is the first day of the Imamat of our 12th Imam.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Today, the 9th of this month, is the first day of our 12th Imams. There are some today, like I've talked in early lectures, who question whether or not the Imam is present with us. But I've covered these with previous lectures, as you may have also heard. Now I would like to say that we all follow the 12 blessed Imams, and we are proud to say it. Their love, their patience, their behavior their characteristics in not just one aspect of life, but in all aspects of life, can be looked upon and learnt. It's very good looking at something, but it's no good if you don't learn from it. We all make mistakes. When people say you make a mistake, you should learn from your mistakes. But how many people of us do? So when we're looking upon the Imams, we aren't looking at mistakes they made, no. We are looking at the way they lived their life, the way they behaved under oppression, the way that they debated. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He told the Prophet Moses to go and speak to the King Pharaoh, He gave the instructions to speak gently with Pharaoh, and maybe then he will believe. These are lessons which our Imams took for the Holy Quran, but when they debated, they did it gently. They were being oppressed, but they never ever let anger take over their emotions.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
I recently heard a lecture which was being given by an Imam in Hexham. I was invited there, so I attended, and he began talking about our blessed 8th Imam, Ali Raza.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
And he began to talk about the ziyarat after namaz. A lot of people say, when you do the ziyarat, you mention the 3 Imams. Imam Hussain alayhi salam. We talk about the 12th Imam for the ziyarat. We also have space for the 8th Imam. And somebody asked the Mulana Sahib why. We know that Hazrat Imam Hussain alayhi salam, the sacrifices he made in Karbala, and we know that 12th Imam, the Imam of our time, is here with us. Why the 8th Imam? And his reply, I must admit, astounded me because I did not know. But when we talked about it afterwards, and he told me that when the Imams came, after the 4th Imam, a lot of Shia made up different sects. One different sect appeared. Then after the 7th Imam, another sect appeared. The 7th is a bit too political to talk about it, but inshallah when I have time, I'm feeling better, I will talk more about it.
Inshallah.
But those who believe in the 8th Imam will go on to believe in all 12. Now the story, he began to narrate the story of our blessed 8th Imam. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
In the ziyarat we say Garib al-Gurba. Now in Urdu, Punjabi, Garib means poor. Well, these speakers okay, or am I speaking too loud?
Yes, perfect.
In the Punjabi and Urdu language, Garib means poor. But I've been told in Arabic it means
stranger,
like a traveler, musafir, stranger. Now, for those of you who have read the story about the 8th Imam, you will know that it was Harun Rashid Shamar who had oppressed the Imams, and he was also there at the time of our 8th Imam. He had 2 sons. One was called Amin and one was called Momin. I think Momin or Momin.
Amin and Ma'mun.
My Arabic and when I read in English, sometimes I translate it, but you know what I'm talking about. So if you know, I should skip this subject. Now these 2 sons, Amin's mother was from Arabic heritage, and Ma'mun, I will refer to Ma'mun,
yeah.
Mahmud Rashid.
See, Punjabi say Ma'mun, Arabic say Mahmoud. Now Ma'mun's mother, she was a Persian heritage. Now he told them that after my rule, one son will take the Persian half of the empire, and the other son will take the Arabic half of the empire. Now then, Mahmud, he knew that the Persians taught a lot of the Imams and the following of the Ahlul Bayt. So he invited him on false pretenses to come. To cut a long story short, throughout his travels, our Imam come across a jungle, and he saw a man hunting an antelope, what we call in Punjabi a hirni. Is that what they call it, hirni? Hirni, an antelope. He was hunting this antelope and he was struggling with it. Our Imam saw what was going on. The antelope saw our Imam, broke free and came to our Imam and began dialogue with our Imam. Our Imam went to the hunter and said, "Let this antelope go." He said, "Why?" He said, "The antelope says, I want to go home and feed my children, and I will come back." He said, "Okay, but can you guarantee me that whether or not this antelope will come?" The Imam said, "I guarantee it." It's why in English the Imam is referred to the Imam, they call him the guaranteer. We have, I don't know whether my Arabic brothers do, but we wear a black cloth with money in it. This is a long story and I don't have much time because I promised you 10 minutes.
Do you have a time to?
But what I was saying was, the antelope came back. Now, the reason I am telling you this story is because our Imams were not just Imams for humans. No. Everyone. This is why I am referring to this hadith and this story to tell you that our Imams were not just revered by the humans but by everybody, the whole of Kainat.
Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
They were also referred to as Alimi Ahl al-Bayt, the Alim of the Ahl al-Bayt. Now, if you look at the title, Alimi Ahl al-Bayt, you think to yourselves, for instance, if I am blind in both eyes, I can't see a thing. If I come across a person who is blind but in only one eye, he is the king. Why? Because in the world of blindness, this man is superior to me because he can see with one eye. So when you look at the title Alimi Ahl al-Bayt, you have to ask yourself, for an Imam to be an Alim within the Ahl al-Bayt, how much knowledge does this person require? Once again, I've said time and time again, and I will say it here, and I will carry on saying it until my last breath. I'm talking about unity. We need unity. I'm not going to criticize, because that's not in my nature, neither am I in a position to criticize anybody. It's why I thank my brothers from the bottom of my heart that they have allowed us to attend, to come here and do a jashan. We aren't alien. We all know why we are here. We all know why we are here. Brother Iftihar, I would like to congratulate you on your recent pilgrimage to Karbala. And he was telling me earlier that when he went, he could not believe the love that the people showed.
Definitely.
He said people were dragging me, come to my house, stay at my house. They weren't looking for money, they weren't looking for gold, they weren't looking for wealth, neither were they looking for a British passport. They showed that love. Why? Because if the Harbai went with the love of Imam Hussain in his heart. He also told me a hadith which he heard over there.